Dave Palumbo here with an RxMuscle special report. Once again, I have Lee Priest here with me. This is becoming a regular thing, Lee. Everyone's out to get you, it seems like. It's you're in a war with the whole internet nowadays.
But the silly thing is, I've said to you before, I'll just move this camera out now, because on this site you got me on it. Everything's reversed on my phone. When I'm looking at myself, I'm looking this way, that way. But
it's a good side.
Yeah, it's weird though, because I feel like I got to be over here a bit. Mm-hmm. It's weird, yeah, because I don't even know these people who we're going to talk about in a minute. Douche or Doucette, but douche is like abbreviated. But yeah, someone sent me a message on Instagram and they were saying, "Oh, Lee, what do you think of this Greg Doucette?" I'm like, "Is it Greg Doucette?" I said, yeah. Never heard of him. He's like, oh, well, he doesn't believe in your bulking up style. I'm like, well, okay. He goes, he thinks you're an idiot. But, you know, you got good genetics and this and that. I said, look, I don't give a fuck what he thinks and this and that. And we had this little conversation. Then I guess next thing I know, someone's like, Lee, Greg Doucette's done a video about you. I'm like, what? I said, is this an old video or a new one? So then I go on there, I look at it. And whoever this person was that inboxed me privately about fucking Doucette, they sent him the message that I said, well, I don't care about him. What's he done? I said, I've been competing this long, blah, blah, blah. And so right. Greg Doucette's sort of dissecting this private message. And I remember there was a lot more in the message. So the whole thing wasn't there. And the guy who originally sent the message didn't put his name on it when Greg put it up. So it was one of those little internet trolls. And the thing is, too, I've never said that I bulked up because Greg's like, you don't need to bulk up. Lee he's almost trying to do those backhanders. Lee has incredible genetics. He had better genetics than me when he was 14 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but blah, 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 this. So it's like one of those, I'll give him a prop and then I'll knock him down. It's like, shut the fuck up. Just say what you mean. But I've never said before about bulking up, you need to bulk up to put muscle on. And I've always said the reason I bulked up was it wasn't for any purpose to put muscle on. It was because I love eating. I've said it many times. If I'm not getting ready for a show...
You have admitted that. Yeah, you did admit that.
Yeah, I eat the fuck what I want. I'm not going to go out and eat chicken breasts and rice. If I can go out and eat chicken breasts and rice and ice cream and chocolates or fried chicken and potatoes, I'm going to go eat what I want. And the longer I had in between shows, the fatter I got. So if I had taken a whole year and a half off, I might have got the size of Eddie Hall. I might have been 150 kilos. But it was only... The heaviest I got was 135 because I had to start dieting down for another show. But
135 kilos, yeah.
If I had to let it go longer and longer, which is like 285 pounds, generally I was around the 250, 260 mark. And I've said before, I said, you don't need to bulk up to put size. And sure, I said, staying leaner, you can put on lean muscle. But to me, and from what I've experienced over the years, it's just a lot harder and takes longer. When I look back to Dorian, NASA, myself, Mike Matarazza, all the greats that did get a little bit heavier, the following year, you could notice this extra muscle they had added. And I've said before, Sean Ray, he's a perfect example of a guy that stayed near contest weight. I think once or twice he got a little heavy. But each year, give him credit, he looked fantastic, great shape, one of the top competitors around. But there was never like each year, you never sort of went, wow, Sean's made improvements. He was always consistent, where he had the conditioning. Sure. So the ones I did notice that always bulked up, you were like, oh, fuck, look at him this year. And this year, they always had those improvements. So this Doucette was going on with some shit, blah, blah, blah. People were like, oh, Lee, you're not a doctor like him. You're just a fucking... No, I'm not a doctor. I've known... That's like, people that are book smart. I'd rather be street smart than book smart. I've known guys who can be like I was a cop. I was brought up in a nice neighborhood. I was a cop and then I became a detective. Now, I'd rather... prefer to have a detective as someone that's come from the streets, knows people on the streets, knows that sort of street smart, then became a cop and now a detective. I'd trust him over some fucking bookworm. And so having degrees or being a doctor or whatever doesn't mean shit to me. So I think he was a school teacher too, but I think
he's a PhD. He's a PhD.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Fucking... Ben Weeder was a doctor.
Yeah, I don't think Ben Weeder really was a PhD. He probably was because he was a historical expert. You know what? I want to just say one thing. We love Greg Doucette. We've had him on the show before, and he's got his shtick on his YouTube channel. He's got the Gilbert Godfrey delivery. That whiny I noticed
that straight away. It was very hard to get. It was a 15-minute video, and it's really hard for me to sit through it.
But that's his shtick. That's his shtick, and I get it.
When I say, look, I never heard of him. That's not knocking the guy. It's just that I don't really follow a lot of things. And the thing is, I don't reply to people unless I get attacked. It's like I wouldn't even know Greg's name unless this person started going, Well, Greg said you're an idiot. I'm like, well, okay, well, who the fuck's Greg? So, you know,
people bait you because they know that they're going to go back and tell Doucette and he'll do a video on it. So it's like you got set up almost. But the funny thing about Greg is that, before I even say my opinion on this whole subject is I really do believe you need to gain weight in the off season if you're going to put new muscle on. That doesn't mean you need to get slovenly. Yeah, you don't have to get slovenly fat, but you definitely need to gain weight. Too many guys try to stay ripped because, they see guys like me at 300 and I was real lean. But, I wasn't real lean when I first started bulking up, only toward the end of my career where I had a lot of muscle already. So you can't try to look like a seasoned, mature, muscled pro when you first starting out. You're going to go through that sloppy stage. And as long as you're not getting like where you have rolls of fat hanging off you, I don't think there's anything wrong with gaining, an extra 30 pounds.
And I never really had rolls of fat hanging off me. I just got big all over. And
you got bloated.
Just puffy was water.
Yeah.
And the thing was too, is like, well, Lee didn't, when he was younger, this and that. Well, when I was younger coming up, he goes, like, well, he put on all this muscle before. Well, Greg doesn't know me too well because even from the age of 15, 16, when I wasn't competing, Lee was eating meat pies and cakes in Australia and drinking milkshakes and going to McDonald's. So Lee is always bulked up. Lee's friends always bulked up in the off season. Right. Come contest time, they're in shape. So I don't put anyone down for what they do and shit. But to say, well, that doesn't work, you don't need to bulk up and do this. Everyone's different. Some people don't. Right. But this day and age, I find now with social media and all the internet, everyone wants to try to keep their abs. Everyone wants to try. It's almost like in the day you felt sorry for the girls because when they did the magazine photo shoots, I went to expos, there was always that expectation on the female figure girls or bodybuilders to look a certain way. And if they bulked up, people go, oh, look at her, she's fat, she's fat. If I was bulked up, they go, oh, fuck, look at Lee, look how big he is, 24-inch arms. So, but now, I tell you what, the guys on the internet are becoming worse than fucking women. They're little bitches. I got to have my fucking abs and keep my cheekbones, I got to, I'm a fucking influencer. Well, that's all you fucking are. And then he goes on about, well, Lee doesn't know I did all these powerlifting moves. Look, back in the day, it's like I said before, if you don't weigh much, it's easy to be a powerlifter. I remember when I was 18 years old, I was still a lightweight, 72 kilos. I was benching 525 pounds.
Holy mackerel.
I was squatting 6 plates. And everyone always used to say, Lee, go into powerlifting, go into powerlifting. And that
you probably would have broke records, yeah.
And that was my running joke. Well, fuck, I should because I hate dieting for shows. Powerlifting, you don't really need to diet. So... I used to always say I should go into powerlifting, but I never did. But it's like I said, if I'm only weighing 70 kilos, the bench double, if you're naturally strong at a light weight, it's easier to break fucking records. Try being 160 kilos and smash records in powerlifting. So when he says, oh, I've broke all these, records and stuff, whoop-de-fucking Doucette. I don't care. Congratulations, but the way he just goes, well, fucking hell. It's like,
everyone's after you though.
My fingers down the chalkboard doesn't bother me.
But he did that. He does that on purpose. That's an act. Because I've had him on the show before. He's not whiny like that, but he knows exactly how to get people riled up. And these people buy it.
He must have people like me because as soon as he got that, I had people sending me stuff. Oh, don't worry about him, Lee. Then they'll send me the old news clips of when he got done for drugs, and then I was one of the people, this and that, and he ratted on people. That's why he never went to jail. And this cop was talking about he even started singing like a bird before they even fucking asked him questions. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. That's why he lost his job as a teacher, they said, because he ordered drug fucking charges. I'm like, oh, well. And then other people out there, he did a thing for me, and I ended up in the hospital from his fucking diet program and the supplements. I'm like, well, fuck, no, I don't want to hear all this shit. I don't care.
There's always people who love you and who hate you. And you know what? If you can get one more person on the side of the people who love you, then you're doing pretty good. That's the way I see it.
I'm sure I got a few more fans out of it, but I just thought it was funny. That's why I posted it. It was probably the most views he's had in a long time himself. But then
he gets a lot of views. He's got it. Like if people like to hear him, whining and going off on people. That's his shtick. But like I said, I've had him on the show before, and he's a pretty down to earth guy. But I happen to agree with you. I think you need to gain weight especially earlier in your career when you're younger, to put the size on. Once you have the size, you don't have to get so sloppy.
I think once you have the size too later on in life too, because as you said, you can be a certain weight, and each year you just get that muscle maturity. And people like, I know that, in my early 20s, as I got to my 30s, even 40s when I did the universe, I was a lot more vascular. You get that muscle maturity. The skin gets thinner over time compared to when you're younger. So all things change and stuff. So, yeah, I don't put anyone down for doing what they do, but he just seems so dead against, you don't need to bulk up. You don't, it's like, let people find what works for them. That's what I say. Whatever works for you, fucking do it.
Right. All right, let's go to the other camp who's coming after you. I don't even want to mention it anymore because it's kind of annoying, but the Generation Iron guys are back at you again. Now, just to recap everything, I mean, Lee criticized the documentary they did on him because they didn't put in the footage that he had wanted with the interviews with his friends. I think is a fake. But it was part of your contract. You had the ability to tell them to look at the final cut. Yeah. They didn't change it after you told them you didn't like the final cut. And so they created a very animosity-driven relationship between you guys. And the thing your documentary could have been such a greater success, and we talked about that. So now it seems that they're telling people now. I see that you should. What are they saying that no one tell people not to follow you on Instagram or something like that? What are they doing?
They've sent messages out. That message I sent, you should put it up. It's from Edwin. He's the other co-producer, I think, of Generation Iron. And there it is. Sent out to a few people. And it's funny because the wording on the next bit, the very wording where it says, Lee, you'll see it, Dave. I can't remember what video it was on, but I think one of the Generation Iron things where I replied to about Bob or something. And there's this one guy, I forget what his name is on YouTube, but the exact wording where it says, all these people unfollowed me and blocked me.
It says Kai Green, Callum Von Moger, Phil Heath, Dorian, and the Cryo Pro League.
I comment on Dorian's. Dorian comments on a lot of my stuff on Instagram, and then I put up all the pages where nobody has fucking blocked me. And I think I was at the Olympia twice. You saw me there, Dave, and interviewed me. So I don't.
Evidently, you're allowed at the Olympia, and they say they actually paid you $10,000, which you said is not true, right?
It was actually 5, but I bumped it up to 7. So no, I didn't get 10. So
all these guys didn't block you.
I'm going to try find the contract too. So, but I'll try see if I can find.
I see. So you posted all these guys, and to show that you're not blocked from them.
No, gotcha. And you'll see Dorian follows me, and Dorian comments on some of my stuff, and I comment on Dorian. See,
Dorian Yates.
Again, Generation Iron full of shit. I hate having to call them out on this stuff, but the way these Edwin's going on about what did it say? I'm damaged.
Well, we know you're damaged, but that doesn't mean anything, though.
I've been called a lot of things, but not damaged. It's like mental retarded. He's an idiot. He's this. He's that. They even froze Jim Mannion's name in there. That was nice.
I know. They're trying to get everyone on. Now the funny thing is, so that these people did not block you. Yet, are they trying to create a campaign where they think that people are going to listen to them and block you? Is that what the?
Well, the person that sent me that one, he's from the States and he's sponsored by Generation Iron and stuff. So I think this must be like a mass mail out to different people who they see or follow me and saying, "Yeah, stop following him," blah blah blah. And then doesn't it say on there how I attacked them or something? Wasn't it like I was attacking them in Edwin's fucking little.
I'll put that up there again. Hold on a second.
Stop following him because he has attacked. I'm like a fucking seagull. Oh, there's a nice. I'm like a seagull going after bananas.
Yeah, he says he's a very you meaning you are a very damaged person that we have disassociated ourselves from as a company and global publisher and entity.
Oh my God. Yeah, but where does it say Lee was attacking because of me attacking them?
Oh, he's attacking not only Generation Iron, but he thinks the companies are one team and thinks Vlad is the one writing or speaking about him.
Well, Vlad's the one doing the interviews where he fucking asks everyone about me. Isn't the Vlad sitting there going, so what do you think about Lee Priest? Did Lee Priest do this? Vlad's the one, mate, you know what I'm going to do is, I know there's these sex places there you can get a moldy, a cock made. I'm going to get one made for Vlad. He can sit on it, he can suck it, he can do whatever he wants if that's what he fucking needs. I'll even fucking stick it up my ass to give it some scent. But,
by the way, you're a loser spreading false information.
What's my false information? Name one thing. I'd like to see what the false information I have spread is. It's like, and the thing is, tell me when we've ever come on the RX since I've been doing the show and I said to you, Dave, let's bash Generation Iron. Let's bash this person. Let's talk.
We don't ever say that. Yeah.
It's like I only talk about them when they've said shit about me. So you've often said, hey, Lee, would you like to reply to them thing? I'm like, okay, let's reply to them all. Someone sends me a link and I show you, go, we should reply to them. I'm like, okay, let's reply to them. But I've never once come on here and been the first one to fire shots. I come in and just fucking defend myself on their fucking bullshit. Now we've got Edwin fucking, you know.
I don't know. I actually have come. I actually like a lot of the documentaries they do. I think some of them are like schlocky and you know, just like the Tony Hughes one.
I enjoyed Ronnie's, and I enjoyed. I've never known Callum that well, but I didn't mind Callum. Some people didn't like it. Some did.
No, I like the original Generation Iron movie too. So I don't, you know, I think that they're just look. You're the worst.
And the thing with the Generation Iron movie is too. The main reason I hated that was because the lead up for a year or even beforehand, it kept saying it's going to be the next Pumping Iron. It's going to be like Pumping Iron. It's going to be, and then I don't know. It just seemed too try hard. Like the people in Pumping Iron, everyone was genuine. They were comrades. They got along great. It just seemed like everyone was trying to fake it too much. It was almost like try and make it like an MTV Cribs of bodybuilding, but you know, and it's just like it wasn't natural. You just tell it was forced, and it wasn't. So, like I said,
here's the problem. Here's the problem, Lee. The problem, the way I see it,
the problem.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what their problem is. The problem is they have this attitude that they're like NBC Sports or something like that, or ESPN, and they're not. No one is. You know, you're not a TV. So they think that like if you're like, you know, requesting things like that you're not, that you shouldn't even be telling them what to do. Hey, we're paying you. You do what we want to do. But that wasn't your contract. You know, if you had just said, hey, look, I turn over all creative content to you guys because you're paying me, then that's a different story. But you had right to look at the documentary and say, you know what, I'm not happy with this. I want to change some stuff.
And then why even interview my training partners and people that know me and don't even put them in? That's why I even said to Craig, I said, what do you mean you can't put them in? I said, you interviewed them. They've taken the time out of their day or whatever it is to do the interviews. I said, I don't even care if you put in a minute or two.
I could put it like 30 seconds, right? You could put it.
It could seem a long time, a minute of someone talking, but then you get a little bit more idea. I said, it's only this long. You could certainly add another 15, 20 minutes to the documentary, for fuck's sake. Come on. But no, I spoke to Edlers. It can't be done. And
I think it's important when you do a documentary with someone that they're on board with what you're doing. So, because you obviously have a certain, you know yourself better than anyone. So, hey, guys, here's where the angle you should take on my life. I know you want to show that I'm a rebel, but you need to go here and here and here because this is going to give people a better understanding of who I am and where I came from.
I'm a bully because my mum told me my father was gay. That's
Let me ask you a question. Was that clip with your mom in the documentary?
It was, but it was a lot smaller because when I actually saw the bit they put up, I actually enjoyed it because it was my mum did mention the bit about my dad being gay. And when they
should have put the whole thing in there, right?
But they elaborated more. This is good. Keep it going.
Yeah. They should have put. That's what I want to see. I want to see where you came from. I want to see the real league.
Maybe if I piss them off more, they might put my training partners in there.
Right. They might put actually the footage that people want to see up in there.
One of his training partners said he's a bit of a dickhead. See, that's why he's a bully, because he's a dickhead. It's like, the whole. I don't know. It's like it could have been. I said it would have been better, and then. I said, how then it showed the stills from me on stage, Lee Priest, second in the Ironman and photograph. And then it said, then it was one of the San Francisco shows, Lee Priest, second place in San Fran. Why didn't you show me Lee Priest winning San Fran?
Right,
Lee Priest winning the Ironman, Lee Priest winning this show, Lee Priest winning the unit. Right. The only win.
It made it look like you couldn't win a show, right? I understand what you're saying.
It made it look like I couldn't win the IFBB show until I went and won the NABA Universe. It was like second. Top sixes at the Olympia, this and that. I'm like, well, why don't you put the wins in? If you're doing a documentary, that'd be like doing Ronnie Coleman's documentary and don't put him in winning the Olympia. Just put him in. The year he got ninth at the Olympia.
When he won the Arnold, just put the Arnold win in there. That was it. Oh, he won the Arnold in 2001, or two, whatever.
Yeah, so, and then even with Craig, I said the whole name of it. I said, why are we calling it? In the beginning, when I saw Lee Priest versus Bodybuilding, I thought that was just like one of those names they just got there at the moment, but we're going to play with different names. It could have been Lee Priest My Way or Lee Priest something like, something that described me a bit better. Lee Priest the Bully, that would have made more fucking sense than fucking, Lee Priest the way I see it or whatever. It could have had so many different names, but Lee Priest versus Bodybuilding, it was almost like you said, they had their agenda and they were sticking to that agenda. And
they wanted to show that you were against bodybuilding, which you're really not, because you're a bodybuilder at heart and you love the sport. You just want to you just voice your opinion, and they should have explored why you are the way you are. That would have been much more interesting. But
well, there'll be another one coming out eventually where we'll go through that. Like I said, you haven't seen Chris Cormier's, have you?
I did. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
He sent me the link to it.
Well, those ones are going to do mine. So
they're great. Those guys. Yeah.
They're in Australia. So this time we're going to interview all the people that know me in Australia. We're going to come to America and interview fellow competitors and different people. Even Wayne D'Amelia when I was with the IFBB, the fights we had, and then how I went to the PDI when he went over. So it's got this way you'll actually know it's me. Okay, it's like
they found footage of Chris in Australia that Chris said I didn't even know that it existed. That these guys found. I don't know how they did it. Chris didn't know. He's like, Dave, I don't know. I didn't even know I was being videotaped. He said in those hotel rooms.
Exactly. Imagine the stuff they couldn't show.
Right. Exactly. Those guys did their homework. That's for sure. You know what? I just want to throw out there to Greg Doucette. I want to get him on Iron Debate with you. I like the topic of bulking up. I think it is a good topic to talk about because there are two schools of thought on how to gain weight. I think that there's really two aspects of the early part of your career and the later part of your career. But I think we should talk about that further. So, Greg,
the main reason too was when you're eating the same diet food all the time, dieting and so bland and eating clean. I loved eating bad because you sometimes get to the point where you're so sick of eating bad, you couldn't wait to go to clean. So when you went to clean, I always found that eating a lot of crappy food, when I went to clean food, my body just switched on automatically and started losing weight. Whereas if I had stayed eating clean all the time, because I've mentioned it before, the 1 year, I think I got the 235 max, 240 tops. And when it come time to diet, I found it harder because I wasn't so heavy. I'm thinking, I'm a bit lighter. I'll take it easier.
It's the same foods you're eating. That's why, you know, too.
I think it's the same too when guys just pound all the gear and never come off it. It's like I take a small amount, come off it totally. And then when I went back on with a small amount, the body just almost sucked it in. Yeah, it's just, everybody said everyone's going to be different. So, but,
Greg, let's get you on Iron Debate. Lee Priest versus Greg Doucette on Iron Debate with me having the last big mouth.
We'll have a hot dog eating contest, Greg and I.
And then, we could end it with that. Yeah, Greg could have
bulk up the quickest.
Greg could eat a pita bread, and you can have a
as long as he talks like Greg, not fucking like Gilbert Godfrey.
We love you, Greg.
If he talks like Gilbert Godfrey, I'm going to be like, okay, mate. Well, let's do it like that.
Yeah, you got to start talking like a real hick from the back country, from the outback.
All right, Cobber, that sounds great. Scroof, mate.
You could talk like Steve Irwin,
Yeah, exactly. Crikey, is that how you stay lean? Crikey, Edwin. Crikey, Edwin, I'm fucking damaged, mate.
That's
Jesus Christ. I was doing okay till that croc got me. Fuck, Edwin, you never...
And then the Generation I guys could film it but not put up any of the footage because they didn't think it was relevant.
Exactly. Or they'll edit it how they want.
All right, Lee. I appreciate you taking time. It's 2 a.m. here, so I got to go to sleep. But I'm Dave Palumbo with Lee Priest for another RxMuscle news update.